Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to take a transverse section of a dicot or monocot stem. So here are the things that you need. You need small pieces of a stem. Here I have a stem piece of an inflorescence of a panicum plant, or commonly known as Guinea grass, or in Sinhala we call it mana. So you need the bottom part, not the mature part, young panicum inflorescence stem. So after I cut into these small pieces, I put them in put these pieces in water. So here I have used a lid of a jam bottle. Then to take sections you need a blade. Unfortunately I couldn't find a blade at home, so what I did was I removed the blade of a razor. Okay, if you have a blade you can use it, or you can use something like this. Make sure that the blade you are using is a sharp blade. Okay, then to mount your section you need a slide and a cover slip. So again, at home I don't have any glass slides or cover slips, so what I use here are small pieces of clear plastic. Okay, then you need a paintbrush. Yeah, I borrowed this from my son. It's an old paintbrush. Then you need some stain. Usually at the university we use saffronin. So I used several strains. I did some trials and I found that this particular one, purple coloring. So if you have purple coloring at home, it's hard to listen. This is a very old one, but I managed to read the label. And what I found was when you apply a small drop of this purple coloring, it stains the secondary cell walls in plant tissues in pink color. Then I have a small wash bowl to wash the excess dye, and I have a piece of tissue to blot excess water. Then to protect your thumb, this is not mandatory, but if you want to worried about cutting yourself, you can put a piece of bandage like this, right? Then what you have to do is you take the stem section, hold it like this, take your blade and you cut the stem towards you randomly. I mean, if you think that you can take a very thin section, and if you try to take it carefully, and if you think you can take any thin section, it's not going to work. What you have to do is just randomly cut the stem towards you without thinking. So here I have a bunch of sections, so I'm going to transfer them into the water. Then you repeat this process several times. Make sure that you are cutting the stem straight. For this you need a very sharp blade, otherwise it's going to be very difficult. Okay, so transfer all the section into water Then what you can do is go through the sections and see whether you have a transparent complete thin section. I don't know whether you can see, but here I have a very thin section. It's a bit difficult to take it onto the brush. Okay, so here's my section. I'm going to place it in the middle of the slide, my plastic slide. I mean, the staining part you can do it in a separate container, but here I'm going to do it on the slide itself. So I'm going to dip the paintbrush in my coloring and I'm going to add few drops. Then leave the coloring on the section for like half a minute. Then you can add the excess water and wash out the excess dye. You can add more water and you can use a piece of tissue to blot the excess water. Then add few drops of water. Then I'll show you how to put the cover slip on without trapping any air bubbles. Okay, it seems like I lost my cover slip. Where is it? Oh, I found it. Okay. So use the back side of the paintbrush, place the cover slip on the slide at an angle, preferably at the beginning of at one end of the water drop. Then slowly lower the cover slip until you have a proper contact with the specimen. Now you can use this in your homemade microscope and you can observe the section. Thank you.